I've been trying to warn people, man, and it's just like
everybody's like, oh, they're opening up.
Yeah, I have friends who are like, oh, well, things are gonna go back to normal. You know, they got the shot coming out now, and I'm just like, you really think they did all of this with the intention of just letting this power go?
Yeah.
I'm like, every time emergency powers are taken by powers that be, you gotta wrestle them away from them.
Yeah,
they don't just give it up.
No, they don't run for some for shit.
NDAA, Patriot Act.
Yes, yeah, and that was all part of this too.
9/11 laid the groundwork.
Yes.
Stuff, you know?
Yep. Hell yeah.
Creepy society. All right, here we go.
Ready?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, we're done.
Yeah, it's done. Oh, that's what that's like. I'm like, I forgot what that was like. Ooh.
Hurts?
It's kind of like, it reminds me of like when you fall and like scrape your knee.
Yeah.
But you just continuously are scraping your knee.
It's like a cat like that's just sitting there scratching the shit out of you over and over again.
Like, I used to work as a substitute teacher, and I had like kids would ask me all the time about tattoos, and they'd be like, do they hurt? I'm like, well, let me describe what's happening. It's a needle. I'm like, it's a needle with multiple needles on the end of it going in and out of your skin like hundreds of times per second. I'm like, what do you think? Does it sound like it hurts? Mm-hmm. But I'm like, you know, people give birth, so.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, handle it. Ooh. But it's always the beginning that's worse. And then as it goes on, the skin kind of starts to inflame and doesn't hurt as much.
You know, you see how they're doing the testing on the kids now, or they're.
I can't, dude.
It drives me insane.
Fucking heartbreaking. Well, you know what's crazy too? They're gonna like when my son was born. I literally had to watch everything they did. They try to inject your kid with shit without asking you right from birth, and I was like, nope, you're not doing that. You're not doing
it? Aren't they saying now if you're like 16?
12, I think.
12 to 15, they approved the Pfizer shot for, which is actually.
But like they can get it without the permission of the parents.
There was actually
some places, if you're 16, they will take you at a walk-in site in New York without parent permission.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
So if you want to rebel against your anti-vax parents, come on in and get a shot. That, you know, who knows?
Yeah, and then the TV and the fucking school is teaching the kids like it's the woke thing to do is to get the shot. So now they're going to be programmed to do it. Yeah. It's like 1984, George Orwell's fucking novel, where like the fucking parents are afraid of the kids. The kids are like agents of the state without, you know.
Yep.
It's fucking scary.
It's what happened in Stalinist Russia too. It's like you have family reporting on family, like, and then you had the post office opening people's mail, intercepting letters, and like the quote you're doing right now by Solzhenitsyn. That's how he ended up in the Gulag. He criticized Stalin in a letter. The letter got intercepted, and they read that letter, and bam, they threw him in the Gulag. And he was in the Red Army.
He was fighting
for them.
Have you ever thought about that happening to us?
Yeah, dude. I have.
One day they will come.
They could.
But we'll be down there, so we got.
I mean,
hopefully it'll be harder.
They're definitely gonna have to kill us to shut us up.
Yep.
You know,
that's how I look at it.
That was one of the reasons why we were like, we need to get out of New York, because it's not. It's first of all, it's just not economically feasible, and second of all, like with the way that the local government here is just going full fascismo, you don't want to be here. Yeah. You're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to fight it. You're not going to be able.
Well, we're also worried there's going to be a time when you can't get out. You know?
That's what the checkpoints and the tunnels and shit over here.
Oh, they tried that, but they even fucking
social experiment. Like, they're seeing what our reactions.
They're seeing if people will listen. Man, that's what it feels like.
Well, thankfully, they the population the way it is right now, they can't really enforce the checkpoints and the tunnels because there's just too much traffic.
Yeah.
But
how do you stop every car? Like you can't.
Well, but in the future, if they reduce the population or they get it so that they don't have as many people coming in and out, then they will be able to papers please you at all the tunnels every time you want to go in and out.
It's fucking nuts, man. And what's crazy is the cops, literally, like a lot of my cop clients, they know like to the T, like where it's like, they're like, yo, like this is Nazi Germany again, where they're defunding, same way, defunded the German police and then the Browns.
More of them need to speak up, man.
That's I know, but you know what's crazy? Like, I even had to try to have my EMT, the FDNY clients, speak up. I said, listen, I was like, I'll sign a fucking contract for $5 million that I'll sue you if I ever say your name. Like if I ever give up your name, I'll have a lawyer write up something, I'll sign it. And I was like, we'll blur out your face. We'll change your voice and everything, and we'll do an interview about that 20-minute resuscitation where you there's one girl, again, not mentioning no names, she was telling me the fucking supervisor is there. She's like, I only need 2 more minutes, I can save this girl. The supervisor's like, no, you have to spend 20 minutes. The girl died. She could have saved it. And I'm like, how many times does that happen?
And then imagine having to go home after that too and go to sleep and act like you didn't see that.
Yes. And it's crazy, but then also too, they've been we've all been programmed. You, me, all of us to some extent. Sure. Yeah. But to recognize that is how to break those changes.
That's the difference. It's like people like us, I think, realize we're undoing those programs, and it's like a continuous process where the people who are totally plugged into the matrix and asleep, they don't even realize.
And they'll fight to retain.
And they'll fight to keep that system going.
Just like they say in the Matrix.
Yeah, we're big fans of that too.
Yeah, dude. My son's only 5. He's gonna be 6, and I was like, it's a little much for him, but I want him to watch it. I was like, this is what's happening,
I want him to know very early, very young, like, hey, man, the world that's being pulled over your eyes is an illusion, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny how now, like, having a family and, like, raising your child
is, like, rebellious.
To be, like, an individual critical thinker is a rebellious act.
Well, like, even, like, holding any position that's interpreted as conservative is, like, countercultural now, which is fucking
how conservatism
weird,
became the counterculture, it's so strange.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm pretty, like, I'm liberal. Like, I was as liberal as liberal could be until my, like, early 30s.
Yeah.
And then I started to be, like, a little bit more conservative. But then it's just like,
well, most people they found do get more conservative as they age.
You get older.
Even the ones who won't admit it probably hold conservative views and they don't even realize that they hold. So I think it's normal. Sense. Look, young people want to change the world, and that's normal. And it's why so many of them got taken advantage of and pulled into BLM and all this woke shit.
Yeah.
Because they have good intentions, but they don't realize that the people in power will use those good intentions to manipulate the situation.
Use them as pawns.
Yeah.
If you ever heard of Yuri Bezlomov, the guy from the KGB? He fucking left.
Sounds familiar.
Fled Soviet Russia and went to Canada. And then he started exposing what he did as a KGB agent. He said it's not James Bond shit like the movies would have you think. He's like, our job was to sit in a room and come up with ways to fucking start trends in other countries that are destructive. Yeah. And that's what all this woke shit is.
They're like, Brent and I call them like idea bombs.
Yes, yeah.
They drop like idea bombs.
Yep.
And, I think it's why they played on the radical Islamists in the Middle East. And, built that up and funded that and used that to destabilize the region.
Hell yeah.
Well, it just showed that there was like a $150 million endowment given to this big foundation behind BLM. It wasn't like Patrice Concouleur's BLM group, but there's another one behind it that got like $150
Mismansions, you mean?
Yeah.
Mismansions.
Well, it's
Black Lives Mansions.
I know.
She's got like 4 houses and multi-million dollars of property, which is great. If I had the money, that's what I'd do. But like, it's just kind of funny how
it's disingenuous. That's why people are pissed about it. It's like, look, you want to go be a capitalist, but stop fucking pretending like you're not fronting this revolutionary communist movement, and then you go and you turn around and you buy multiple mansions. Like, be consistent,
Yeah.
And then you couldn't even talk about it on Facebook and Twitter. They
crazy.
They banned the New York Post article.
Like, I wish Facebook, I had Facebook defending me, like standing up for me, like banning all my haters.
I know. There was somebody that wrote a troll that was one of them that wrote some shit on it. Occasionally that happens. Not too bad. Because I fucking just told, like, they'll leave me a bad review and I'll be like, thank you so much for the bad review. Fuck you. I'll say some disrespectful shit. I'll say something that makes logic sense and makes them look stupid. And I'm like, I really appreciate the opportunity for other people to read this piece of mine. I love it. Keep it coming. And the trolls kind of fell back. Like, I can't really beat this guy. Like, he's actually happily closing his bid. He's like, how can we get him?
Yeah, they can't.
Yeah, man.
Well, I get what you mean. It's like you want to go out on your terms.
Yes.
Like, you don't want to make it seem like, oh, well, they forced me out. Or
that. And then also, too, it's like it's turning the other cheek. And then also, it's actually a new door opening, not this door closing. I'm no longer going to be a slave to the dollar, to a 9 to 5, to work to pay taxes.
It's an opportunity to change.
Yes. Yeah, to be truly free. Even though I still am my own boss, I am pretty free, but I still got to look. I got them coming in here. I'm in the system. I don't want that, And but like this one troll wrote some shit, and I was like, I'm going to delete his comment. And I was like, well, no, that actually goes against everything that I believe in, freedom of speech. I was like, because I wouldn't, you know what I mean? They're deleting and censoring everything. I was like, so wait, should I even say? I was like, I
think it depends on how pestering the person
that's the one
because it is your platform, and ultimately, you have a right to interact with whoever you want.
But then you know what? When Facebook deletes your fucking video and says, or YouTube, it's like, well, it's their platform. They can delete. But that's where it's like, that's where the line is blurry between freedom of speech and then private ownership of the company.
They say, okay, well, this is a private organization, but
Clarence Thomas wrote a really good opinion about it in an unrelated case, and basically encouraged Congress to take up the issue and gave them the legal framework under this idea of a common carrier. So it's the same way that like AT&T or Verizon can't cut you off because they don't like what you're saying on the phone. You know, if you're a common carrier, if you offer a service to the public, you can't just pick and choose, you know, oh, I'm not going to give service to this person because they're XYZ. Yeah. And that was what, you know, they used that to end the whole...
They do that at Chase Bank too, so I can get my bank accounts back.
Yeah, if they're offering it to the public, they shouldn't be able to just, you know, pick one person because they don't like your politics, or they don't like your skin color, they don't like the fact that you sleep with other guys, or whatever it is. They're not allowed to do that.
The wedding cake incident too with that gay couple is a similar sort of, it's in the similar argument, you know. Yeah. Because
what was it? I'm not familiar with
Well, there was this, I forgot what year this was. What was this, 2016, 2017?
It was before that.
There was this bakery that basically refused a gay couple because they were, I guess, Christian, and they didn't want to make a wedding cake for a gay wedding because it went against their beliefs. So it created this whole, I mean, there was a case in the Supreme Court about this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it brought up this whole argument about, you know, can they do that as a private establishment, or are they denying equal service to people by doing that?
That's a
even if it's
moral dilemma right there, because you can look at it from both sides. You know?
You can, you know, and Brett and I are gay, and there's a part of me that understands that argument and would be like, well, look, if it goes against your religion or your beliefs or whatever. I personally wouldn't want to force an establishment to serve or do something that
spit your cake.
Right, yeah. Who knows, you know?
That's why when I was at Cracker Barrel, I waited till after we got my food.
Because like, I don't know what they're going to do to my shit, man. But, you know, I can see the argument there, and the flip side is like, you could just go to a different bakery, right, and find a bakery that will serve you.
You know what's great? You guys being gay, you break the fucking narrative too. This whole shit.
Yeah. Well,
which is powerful.
That's kind of what we like. Yeah. You know, we're like, all right, well, we're supposed to be in this quote unquote oppressed group.
Yeah. But are we really? No.
So it's just like
nobody gives a fuck. Like,
I think it's why we make people particularly uncomfortable, because it's like, especially like the white savior, liberally type straight people who think they need to like speak for everyone and hold our hands. It's like when you tell them directly, you're like, look, you don't have to do that. Actually, you don't need to do this to be a good ally or whatever. And signal to me, it's like, we just want to be treated like normal human beings. I don't want special treatment.
Yeah,
I don't want you to like hold my hand and coddle me and be like, you know, I know society's really hard on you, but you know, we're making space for your voice, and here's more representation. It's patronizing.
100%. Yeah, because it actually makes you not be equal, because you're now being put in a subcategory. Yeah. Danny, was good, bro.
What's up? You took the thing off the door?
What is it? No, you know what it is? When I try to install that mag lock up there, I'm going to take it off, but I think actually, either that or the building shifting, and I think the door frame is like on a little bit of a tilt, so it doesn't close all the way, where it doesn't make the connection.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear it.
What's going on?
It was working earlier.
Yeah, literally the door sometimes doesn't close all the way, so it doesn't make the connection. I mean, I literally, to fix that, I just literally open the door and I hang on it to pull it down a little bit, and then fucking it shifts back. Danny, go get that machine, bro, so I can take a look.
Yeah, it's a piece of shit anyway. I'm gonna bring it to you then.
Yeah, bring it through. I'll take a look. I'll see if I can fix it.
I think I know the pedal wasn't working right, and then
bring all that stuff. I'll take a look. I'll let you know what's I'll let you know about it.
Yeah, because I should have just got a better one from the start, but it's like,
you want to try it?
I would have got mad and broke it, and then like I'm never doing that. You know what I mean? But when I left yesterday, when I left with you, I wanted to try that stuff you showed me, and then this fucking thing was doing that, and I was like, yo, why is it doing that? I just got it.
Yeah.
Alright, so some other ones this might be better. I'll show you.
Yeah, bring that one. I'll tell you what I think about it, if it's fixable or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you which ones to get.
Yeah. Shit. Anyway, did you eat?
I ate a little while ago, but I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, I kind of ate a little while ago too, but I think I'll eat again. Did you work out?
Yes.
I gotta do that. Like tomorrow, I should work out. Lazy.
I get something to eat. I'll come back and stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
Show you that fucking thing.
Yeah, man.
Me off. I got no luck with any electronics or anything. It always fucking breaks. Everything.
We were just talking about that a while ago.
I'm the king master of that. Like, one night my computer just decided to break for no reason. My girl fixed it. She opened the inside of it. It looked like there might have been some water things or something in it. But it literally, like, been using it. I had it for years, and I went to put it on. It just decided to like not work. And that shit always happens when you have a little bit of buzz.
like a little bit drunk. I wasn't totally drunk.
It's the government, thinking, man. Like, they're sending beams into your computer and disabling it, bro.
There's something going on here. She fixed it, though. I was gonna snap it over my kneecap.
Dude, in the past, I've done that.
I've done
like with electronics when they like.
This is punch it.
Yeah, dude. I bought this brand new computer like when I was like 20, 21, and so I just bought it and everything, and I'm trying to do it. And it's like fucking not loading, and I'm like, oh, why is this so choppy and slow? And I just punched it, broke the front of it. I was like, my knuckles are bleeding all over the place. I'm like, holy shit! That thing pissed me off.
I've done that a million times, man.
I don't mind spending good money on stuff, but when you spend good money on something and it's fucking
work.
Yeah, exactly. It's like spending like fucking like grade A dollars and you get like a fucking grade B steak at a restaurant. You're like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, you know, I paid fucking a lot of money for this.
One of my TVs, my LG, when we moved, no one else on Mars Park, just died for no reason. Never went back on for no reason. I was like, what the fuck? And then another one I bought, I punched it and I broke that one, but at least I know why it broke.
At least that one has a reason for breaking.
Yeah, I was like, all right, shit just breaks. What the fuck?
Yeah, we got a new.
All right, bro.
We got a new computer for the podcast because I needed something that I could plug this camera into and run it through. My old computer just wasn't going to cut it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we get it, and it's working great for like a week, and then the video card just dies.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't. I was trying to get in touch with the company that built the machine because they're in California, but they're still, you know, like they were still under lockdown or whatever, and it was such a pain. I couldn't get anybody to respond.
Well, we had already waited, I think, 2 months or something past when it was supposed to be delivered to us because that video card was in back order.
Yeah, I ordered it in like December. It finally came at the end of February. We had it for a week and then it dies.
Yeah. Well, not just that, the piece that we waited all that time to get, which held up the whole process, is what died.
And then finally I just had to do an RMA
part
with the company, the video card company, and they were actually able to, they sent me a replacement, and thank God that has worked so far.
You know, I've noticed with this whole shit, right when it first started, everything is a lot cheaper quality than before this whole pandemic thing. I've noticed it with our paper towels, and I don't buy cheap shit, like these are Brawny, the Tear Square ones or whatever. Dude, like I noticed that at one point especially, they were so bad where I'd wipe and like they're breaking apart. And I know my paper towels because I use hundreds of them per day. And like, you know, I have an intimate relationship with paper towels. I'm wiping blood and shit like that. Like, I know my paper. Dude, I noticed it with the needles and like same thing, name brand fucking needles. And now it's like there's a couple out of a box of 20, 2 or 3 of them will be defective. I'll put it on, it starts making this weird noise. I'm like, the fuck? It doesn't cast a line right. And I'm like, hold on, I gotta change it every now and then.
Wow.
They're making inferior components. I noticed it with the gloves. There'll be defective gloves in there, same brand that I've always used, and they used to be $9.99. Now they're $37 or some shitty box for the same fucking.
Skimping on some materials.
Yeah, they're raising the prices, and they're making it fucking smaller quantities or shittier quality. It's fucking nuts.
Well, there's also the idea of planned obsolescence, which is when you like design a product to break after a certain amount of time because you want people to keep buying the product.
Yep.
If the product was the best possible product and just lasted as long,
you only make money from them that one time.
They buy it once and that's it. They don't need to buy it again.
Yep.
So,
and that's what I always look for, something that will last me forever. I don't, you know.
It's one of the flaws of capitalism too. Like, despite the fact that obviously, you know, communism and other alternative systems haven't worked. And capitalism, even though it creates all these issues, has lifted more people out of poverty than ever before. It also kind of demands problems sometimes because it needs things to fix or it needs a product to be made to sell, right? And if there isn't one, you know, I brought up the war example earlier. You make a problem, right? If you can't sell weapons because no one's killing each other, start a war, and then
exactly. What's going on, guys?
Nothing. What are you doing?
Yeah, nothing. Doing a haircut right now. What do you guys doing? No, I'm just kidding.
A little trim.
What's going on?
We want to make appointments.
I'm not taking appointments. I'm moving out of this shithole, New York City, communist fucking shithole. I can't do it. I'll tell you this, what I'm telling everybody. We're going to go down south, but if I'm still here, I'm booked right now up until August. Booked solid. If I get an opening, I mean, I could reach out to you guys, but generally, August, I have an open schedule. If I'm still here, which I probably will still be here trying to close and on the property and whatnot, I'll be taking walk-ins. I'll have a completely open schedule.
I have $200 worth of gift certificates.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're guaranteed because you already have. Yeah. So we can definitely. What are you guys trying to get?
Just, I want simple. Right here.
I got spots in July, so I can book you down. Do you have your gift certificates on you?
No, my husband. We could bring them back.
Can you bring them back?
We just were walking around the
Yeah, not a problem.
You before you left.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, like I put on the Instagram too. I'm gonna make sure nobody gets fucked that has gift certificates.
Okay.
So I will definitely book the appointment for you. I have like, I think it's 2 or 3 Fridays left in July. It's
Okay.
like as soon as I can get you in, and I've been holding those days for gift certificate people. But to make the appointment, just bring me the gift certificate because I'll use that instead of taking a deposit from you. That'll be the deposit.
Yeah, ours is simple too.
Yeah, it's just I want this flower, but without the bow and arrows.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you guys both in the same day.
Just like
Yeah,
right here.
yeah, not a problem. Definitely. Do you guys want to? I might leave a little bit early today after I'm done with this tattoo, possibly. Would you be able to come on Tuesday?
Yeah.
All right. Is that okay?
Gift certificate?
Yeah, and then I'll set up the appointment that day.
Yeah.
All right, excellent.
Perfect.
I'll see you ladies then.
Thank you.
Take care. Yeah, man, dude. You know, it seems to me all these systems are flawed, every single one, because we're giving up our own self-sufficiency to be reliant on the system to cater to us.
Well, you mentioned the P word earlier, which we
Yeah.
talked about psychopaths.
Yeah.
And we think that's actually the biggest issue in the world that is unaddressed. And people don't understand that there are other people walking around who don't have the conscience. It's just not there.
Yep.
You know, it's not a matter of them even being abused too, because there are plenty of psychopaths who come from affluent families.
Yep.
We're given plenty of opportunities and treated well and raised right, and they still turn out to be people who money launder or empty your bank account or whatever it is, you know? So we think that's like the main issue, is that there's this small percentage of people, they're almost like an intra-species predator. They look like humans, right? They act like humans, but on the inside they're fundamentally different. And they do a disproportionate amount of damage to society as a whole because we don't understand them or how different they are.
Or people like to blame capitalism as the system, but it's not capitalism, it's pathological capitalists.
Well, you could take any movement too could have good, be well-intentioned and have perfectly good motivations, and if a psychopath infiltrates it and becomes the leader of that movement, it could flip the entire message on its head, and then the next thing you know, it's a fascist.
Such as Big Pharma. And then you'll have people that'll justify it. Well, no, what he means is because
they critically correct.
Yes,
pathological bullshit.
Yeah, where I'm like,
Gates thinks there's too many people. There's no way you can
yeah,
try to get around that.
Yeah.
It's what he said. He didn't say, "Oh, we're going to kill people off," but he's definitely said as much that we need to figure out a way to slow the population growth.
Yeah.
So you're going to take medical advice from that guy?
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to explain this shit too. But
Yeah. I mean, see, I look at it like, you know what?
it's like the common sense.
If we if we abolished all these fucked up systems and said, hey, listen, you do what you want. I don't think that people would need protecting from police or from anything. If at the end of the day, let's say us, we went out and we started our own homestead and we had 20 to 40 people. If just leave us to our own means. We're all right. We're fucking. What are we gonna do to survive? Are we gonna build giant factories that are gonna be fucking producing guns? No, we're gonna be fucking planting plants, gardening, and being self-sufficient, healthy.
I'll make a gun for myself.
What's that?
I'll make a gun for myself.
Oh yeah, no, 100%, yeah. But or are we gonna be factory fucking having fucking boom tower you see in Jersey the Meadowlands and shit? You drive through, you're like, holy shit, fucking all the fucking factories and shit.
That's only necessary to have cities, really.
Yeah.
So we've gotten too used to living in cities.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
They're gonna be fucking death centers in the future, man.
It feels like that. It feels like the cities are gonna just become big prisons. They already feel like that.
Yep.
And it's gonna get to a point where it could, be too late for you to get out. And whoever's out, good for them. Whoever's in there, they're just gonna be like, well, follow these restrictions, and you're stuck here.
Dude, when I went down to Georgia, I was like, man. When I wrote to one of you guys on there, I was like, if I don't make it back, you were like, I was joking, but
no, I was like,
I
told my parents that too when we started the show. I was like, look, I'm not suicidal. I know I'm sad sometimes.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I have no intention of killing myself. I intend on living. So if something weird happens, question it.
Yeah.
I was like, even if
he didn't kill himself.
I'm like, even if it sounds like an accident, I'm like, just question it.
Yeah.
And especially if they say I killed myself, question it. Because I didn't.
Suicided.
Yeah. And my parents are looking at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Half joking, half serious, though.
Yeah. My wife met this lady whose parents grew up during. I believe it was. Actually, I think she met one of each. Nazi Germany, when it became Nazi Germany, collapse of the Weimar Republic, and then the same thing with the Soviet Union, Russia. And she was telling me that she was told something deaf, and that they were saying that like everybody knew what was happening, but everybody had to put on a fake smile and just shut the fuck up.
Yep.
But meanwhile, that's actually what allows it to happen.
Right
Yeah, it's what's happening right now. You know, the anal swabs.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, in China, right?
Yeah, you see people walking out, and I'm like, oh man.
Weird.
I was like, was that even real? Like, I don't even know. Because like, I didn't go to China, but like people said that you know that's what they were doing to the American diplomats. When they were having come in. Doing an anal swab. I was just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. And you know, you got to think too. Like, are a lot of these things? Yeah, like you said, is a lot of these things even real? But like, you know, how the old saying, like, if you repeat a lie often enough, it becomes the truth.
Yeah.
Like, even like the toilet paper shortage and shit like that. Was that really true in the very beginning, or when they put that in the media, did that make that happen? Because everybody was panic buying it. You know,
I think they wanted people to panic and they wanted to create an illusion of a shortage, but. It happens too when they announce hurricanes and shit. You know, people rush to the store and they stock up on things.
It was funny with this gasoline thing too. People were like, they showed like pictures of people filling up like plastic containers, plastic bags.
It's like why?
Now later it came out a couple of those were from years ago, which had nothing to do with the current thing. But it's just like it really shows you how the internet can sort of be this hall of mirrors where you see something in there without really context, and you're like, is this from now? Is this from before? Is this?
Yeah.
You just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've caught multiple news organizations reusing pictures from like 3-4 years ago from some other tragedy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, when they were trying to make this COVID in India a thing, the New York Post got caught because they had a picture that was from a gas leak where a woman passed out on the side of the street. And they were put that on the front page when they were talking about COVID. And it's like, she didn't pass out on the street because of COVID.
Yeah, misinformation, man.
But they want you to believe everyone's all, dying and falling over themselves over there. So, they construct narratives. They construct narratives.
But this, this could be a freeing incident. Like where it's like, wow, we see like, because before I don't think that people would have fucking been speaking as much as like we are now.
The wheat from the chaff.
Yes.
Separating. The people who are compliant, it's going to show. And I think.
Well, they're going to get the shot, and that's it.
They're going to get the shot, yeah. And if they survive, and 10 years from now, if shit is terrible, they're going to be hanging their heads in shame. A lot of them, and I think they're not. I want to be able to look back at this time and said, you know what. I didn't bow down. I didn't cower. I want to be able to go to sleep at night and know that like I didn't allow them to control me and how I think and what I'm going to do.
That's why I was depressed when I first opened up. When I didn't have the strategies to combat this, and everybody's coming to mask. I'm like, I really don't want to tattoo you because you know what I mean. Like you're abiding by it. And I was feeling depressed because I'm like. And like the thing was, I just opened up, so it's like shit. Like I gotta kind of work because I gotta get funds to pay.
But then so it's like by working and following the restrictions, I'm also complying and allowing it to happen. So it's like, what do I do?
And then when I started speaking up, I started the anxiety and the depression went away, and I was like, oh, this is my life fucking purpose.
Because you're being authentic.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I feel the same.
Yeah, dude.
Like I've lost friends. I've had people cut me off and stuff. But
good. Fuck that.
I think
that's how I look at it. I don't want. We're not friends anyway. If you're like
from chaff, man. Yeah. It's like the last year was really revealing. It showed who's really there for you and who's not. And I've had people who I thought were my very close friends totally abandon me, especially after DC. They're like, oh my god, you went to DC, I can't be associated with you anymore. And then I've had people who
you go there for support or as a journalist, and I don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't really care.
Just we just wanted to see because we knew they were going to lie about it. We knew that no matter what happened,
we knew the election.
We watched that shit live here, 7 different live casts of people. Dude, you see the police letting people in and shit. And I was like. You know why they did that too? That was just an excuse not only to get people to hate fucking Republicans and whatnot, but also too that gave them an excuse to put up defenses in the military there. They fortified their entire shit. I was like, that's crazy. Let me watch it real quick.
Hell yeah.